Hey, how we doing? This is the Arcangels Part 2, and this is another song off their fabulous debut album. This is called The Famous Jane, and this time round it's a Charlie Sexton song that he sings but Doyle solos on. So it's actually, if you want to play along with the record, it's in F sharp. So that means the first thing you hear is so that's the opening, which would make the bass part. Now, just to make it usable, I think it's a lot easier to do it in G, because the chord shapes will come out a lot easier. If you see him do it live, Charlie's got a capo there, and Doyle plays it on slide. Now, there's one slight problem in playing it in G, and I'll get to later. It's maybe why Doyle plays it on slide. So let's take it in G. Okay, that's the intro, and then the bass plays this. And that's the first line, nobody knows where she came from. So we're into the song. G, C, G, C. And it does that twice. So this is the opening verse. Now there's a bridge that goes, she probably went to Hollywood in the year of the King. Hits on Highway 61, got elected Queen. So that's E minor, C, back to G the tonic, D, D, and then we're into the chorus, and the chorus is slightly different. It does this. Back to the... Now the chorus is where Charlie sings The Famous Jane before he runs through all the Janes that we know of. You know, Jane's got a gun, Sweet Jane, Accidentally, Jane. It's a very, very literal song, and you know it's kind of fitting that Charlie is now playing with Bob Dylan, because it's a very lyric-based song, but you know, but the music's great too. So, I find the chords in the chorus don't quite fall on the beat you expect them to. So we've got this G, play a B, C, C, G, B, D. Hit the D again, same again. C. They will still remember her name. Now, at this point, Doyle plays a solo, which is one of the nicest on the album. And I'm fairly sure it's Doyle, because when you see them live, Doyle plays it on the slide. And he plays the most lyrical, beautiful slide you can ever imagine. But on the album, it's it's a straight up fretted solo. Now, maybe Charlie, and maybe the point where maybe their styles come together, but over the Doyle, because I think it's Doyle, plays this. So it's a slide, F sharp to G, then E to F sharp, then B, D to B, slide up to the E. So we've got And then we're getting into real, you know, stretch the strings, and, you know, there's a lot of juice in this bit, in the next bit anyway. So we've got a very straight fingered. And then he plays. Now, you can see he's bending the note in and out of tune. So the first thing is a kind of bluesy lick. If you can see that, you bend the A. So we've got A bent to B, fret to C, fret to D. But he plays it like this. So the note's hitting the pitch of B, and it's coming down. So it's sounding, you know, slightly of dubious pitch, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's great. So this point we're halfway through the solo. Now here's the problematic bit. If it were an F sharp, there would then be a pedal tone section that would end up on the C sharp note. If we're in G, we need one more note on the guitar, and guess what? We haven't got one. Or I don't have one, because, you know, this is a 21 fret Strat. If it were played, you know, on an SG or a Les Paul or something, obviously it's got the 22nd fret. So in the F sharp, the next line goes like this. Now you see, that note is the very highest note on the guitar. So, you know, that sounded out of key because, you know, I jumped from G to F sharp. Let's go back to G. So the next bit is, but there isn't a D. So an octave higher, you'd have to play. Okay, so the pedal tone bit, let's put an octave down. It's come off the D to the G. Very Steve Lukather, actually. That lick, you know. And then this lovely slide up to the D, which obviously up here we don't have. And then, like, you know, very, very simple but nice. And then, just to let you know that it's Doyle, he finishes the solo like this. This just kills me. So this time the bend is not the A up to B, but you know, it's still in G major. It's a C up to D. So he's hitting the D pitch, and then he's bending it, you know, from here to Shanghai. And then looking for the D again. And that lovely melodic phrase. And then G to D. And that's it. As I say, there's a bit of a conundrum of where you play that solo. If you're playing it on a 22 fret guitar, well, you know, hey, no problem. You could conceivably bend that up to D, but I wouldn't advise it because it was me. I'm fairly sure I'd make a pig's ear of it. So if you're playing it in G, your choice is either play it on a 22 fret guitar, or play it an octave lower. Like that. So that's it. The famous Jane. After it's all forgotten, you'll still remember her name.